And we got a couple of headlines coming out of an Empire article. We got James Cameron, who is quoted to say that he might not direct the sequels of Avatar after Avatar 3, saying that maybe it is time to then pass on the baton. I'm butchering the
You
word.
just try to French up like a normal
No,
word.
I'm trying to now on Cineman. I'm trying to impress the French part of Switzerland, and I'm just gonna
Right, of
completely
course.
cut it out or like put something else on top of it.
Let's
The
not get me to try to impress them because
To pass on the
no
torch.
hablas español.
No, to pass on the torch and maybe hand it off to someone else who's also capable of ending this pentology, I guess. 5 movies is set to, I guess, be in this Avatar franchise before they close it off. And Cameron has been filming the second and the third movie back to back. They're set to release later this year, and then the third installment would release in 2024. The other 2 films would then kind of periodically come out 2 years apart as well. So Lachlan, what do you think about this? Is there anyone else who could do Avatar just like James Cameron?
Yeah, a couple people come to mind. M. Night Shyamalan, for one.
That's your default.
Oh, I'm so
Dude,
happy that you just asked me that because I had that joke lined up and you just set it up for me, man. I appreciate that.
We set this up as season 2 of Quiet on Set, and yet we regurgitate the same bits over and over again from the same season. It's always M. Night Shyamalan.
Thing, yeah.
It's the punchline. You got any real contenders?
Look, I will say there are people out there who can direct it, and I'm not going to say anyone in particular because I don't think they are too difficult to direct. I don't know why he needs to say this because he could definitely say, you know what, I don't want to go past 3 movies, so I'm going to wrap it up at 3. But obviously we know that they plan 5. If James Cameron just wants to stop after 3 movies, I am happy for him to do that because you just don't want to be a David Yates and just do every single Harry Potter movie and have that be like your entire career for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because James Cameron is talented. He can do a lot of awesome things. I'd love to see at least one of the most unique and talented directors that is currently living do something other than one of the biggest movies of all time sequels. I want him to do another unique IP and make something awesome.
I would love to see Ridley Scott kind of do the back-to-back with Aliens, but now he's doing the sequel. And instead of like titling it with a number, he just puts like the S at the end. And he does the same thing. There's this quote from him that from not from Ridley Scott, but from James Cameron, that he pitched the movie as in it's just gonna be more. Like, oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Simple enough. That's that. Apparently Avatar 2 is also coming in at a runtime of approximately 3 hours, and James Cameron has gone on to say that like something like don't be a coward. I don't know if it was more vulgar than that, but like just sit down and watch it. Just sit your white ass down and watch Avatar 2, I guess. I don't know.
Bring your extra large cups to pee in because if you don't want to go to the bathroom, you're gonna need it.
Way of the water, there's gonna be so many waterfalls coming down. It's gonna be hard to not think about taking a pee. So you know, you better be prepared for that. Which, speaking of it, I'm sure that a lot of people were also prepared for this next thing. The Dominion of Deminions on the box office has been crazy and fueled by a TikTok meme. Actually gone successful compared to something more recently that kind of morphed out of existence pretty soon and had a re-release that failed.
Man, how long have you been writing this script for? This is insane.
No, this is all improv.
Wordplay. Oh, okay. Wow, this is incredible.
Season 2.
Sorry, I've thrown you off your train. Sorry.
Okay, I kind of need to step my act up.
I like it.
Dude, hopefully they don't kill any of us off at the end of season 2. I would hate to see that, but we'll take it
the main characters
step.
are pretty safe, unless it's like Game of Thrones.
They're Stranger Things. Hint, hint. What was I saying? The minions in suits has been crazy. I mean, the box office story is weird to see. I mean, it had already had a great opening, the 3rd highest of the Independence Day weekend overall, only behind one of the Pirates films, Dead Man's Chest and Spider-Man Homecoming. Other than that, it trumped every other release. It's set to also be pretty much as successful as the first Minions film. That one is the most successful in the whole Despicable Me franchise. It grossed a total of $1.16 billion, and coming in on Friday, July 8th, today, the movie is already standing at a whopping 248 million after just
Wow.
being out for a bit more than a week now, I think. No, I guess 4th of July. Yeah, it's been not too long. Not much more than, I guess, a week to the day today, which is crazy. And I like to say this up front, like the meme, I don't think it's funny. I saw a couple of memes on TikTok. I know you are profusely against ever visiting and even downloading that app, but I'm kind of on it just for research purposes, to be up with the youth, although I do consider myself not to be too old myself, I guess. But you see that like a lot. But then also, I was at a public screening yesterday to watch For Love and Thunder, and there were a bunch of people in suits ready to go there. I can say that the demographic is like from 14 to a max 18 who kind of think this is funny, and I guess more power to them supporting Illumination. But I still refuse to watch the Minions. I don't know about you, Lachlan. Are you gonna dress up and go see the Minions?
First of all, I'm not totally against TikTok.
Sure.
I just don't need another social media.
Right.
And I can get plenty of the TikTok stuff I need just by seeing the memes online from this. Now I'm just I'm not familiar with the meme, unfortunately, right now. Now I'm pretty meme lord level, but I'm currently not with it. I'm assuming
Dude, you're so old.
The meme is just wearing a suit and going to go see the Minions movie.
Yeah.
That is very funny. I like that. So
it's so
I love
simple.
me a meme.
Yeah.
I love me a meme. I loved Morbius's memes. I love this has now gone from Morbius to Minions, and I also want to support anyone who wants to go and watch a movie in a cinema because they're getting money back into, I guess, an industry that has been failing over the past year. So good for a meme to do something good to an industry that was unfortunately going down.
Yeah.
As long as no harm is done to any of the other moviegoers.
Nah, that's kind of the issue there. There were a lot of like people
what's
just
the
being
issue?
rowdy and whatever. So like there's a lot of complaints there. That's why I'm like also directly reluctant, because I mean, at an art house theater, we're not running the Minions. That's never going to show at our theater. But like having empathy for people who have to do that, I think that can be kind of annoying. And like, you don't really care for the admission price. It's not going to change anything for you per se. So it's just kind of annoying to deal with people who are rowdy. And the typical moviegoers that are like, teens is not really something that he's super depending on. They're not big spenders overall, I guess. But I mean, it's great to have them go to the theater, but it isn't sustainable. It's not because they want to see the film themselves, because like they're in on this big joke, and that's kind of why they do it. So like I saw like one or two things about it, and then it's kind of in circulation. Same with the Morbius thing. I thought it was like played out pretty quickly. But I guess the absurdity of like keeping it going and going is kind of, there's a what is it like with radiation, like the halfway point or whatever.
Half-Life?
Yeah, the half-life of this meme is kind of the further it goes, I guess, the funnier it gets again. But at the moment, I'm kind of at a stage where like, okay, I've seen it now. It's not funny anymore. But also, I'm not a big fan of Illumination. I think they're really one of the laziest production studios. So dude, I'm not coming off as someone who's like, you try to portray me as this hateful guy who's like hating on a bunch of stuff and like only loves others. I'm not doing myself any favors here. But I don't know, that's kind of my stance. If like Top Gun hadn't done so well at the box office, and like other movies had done like not well, and this was the only movie this summer who did well, then I guess I would kind of be like, I guess more disappointed that that's the movie that's like big. But I don't really care. I mean, Minions are always gonna be Minions. They do super well at the worldwide box office anyway. So this was gonna be a success regardless. But both of us are gonna skip out on on suiting up and
well, actually,
watching the
I
Minions.
saw a Minion the other day.
What kind of Minion?
On my holiday, an actual Minion.
I mean, you gotta explain a bit, like.
So as a quick story, last weekend that I was away, I went down south to a lovely little town in Western Australia called Dunsborough, and went on basically a 2-day wine tour with a bunch of mates. And literally at the first stop, we got out, and as we're walking to this cellar door, there is literally a minion in the garden.
Like a gnome, but
that
it's a minion.
No, like a proper minion.
Like a big figure thing of like a statue.
Tiny little thing, like a minion. Yellow, blue overalls.
That's just the apocalypse.
Round.
At some point, they just emerge from the ground.
And I'm taking it as a sign that I have to go see the movie. So I shall be the quiet on set podcast correspondent going to go see the Minions movie.
Are you gonna dress up in a suit as well?
I probably won't dress up in a suit.
Yeah.
Because the only suit that I currently own is a red one, and I don't want to draw too much attention to myself because it'd be pretty embarrassing if I get caught out by someone that knows me.
That's fair enough. But I do that. If you snap a selfie in the theater watching Minions, definitely share that with us. And we might.
Excellent.
And you definitely need to share your thoughts on the film because I'm
going to see what the latest screening I see tonight is.
Oh my God. I want to move on pretty soon, but there's also we started the show and we were doing early on in 2020 a kind of upcoming movies thing, and we also already talked about the Minions because I believe this is the last movie from that whole cycle that got pushed back. And was already done, set to release, but got pushed back because of the pandemic. And it's the final one that now got a release as well. And I've been dreading to watch this film, and I felt kind of an obligation because it would be one of the big movies to watch it. But now we got a full slate of movies, and we got other stuff to talk about. So I'm just skipping out on the Minions. One final news story is from the Duffer brothers, the directors behind Stranger Things, who just announced that they are that they have created their own production company called Upside Down Pictures, and one of their first series films, no, it's a film, is going to be another, probably gonna be Netflix produced Death Note adaptation. So yikes. There's already one on Netflix, I think from 2017. That one's one of the worst films I've ever seen. As like a really casual anime enjoyer, I think Death Note is probably the entry drug to anime, and people who don't really watch anime will probably say, yo, Death Note's my favorite, which funnily enough is probably also something I would say. But yeah, it's just disappointing.
I wouldn't say that. I would say One Punch Man's my favorite, but I'll move on from that.
Oh yeah, that's another good entry one. That's a really simple one to get in. He's a man who punches people and they die after one punch.
I'm a man who likes to watch people get punched, so
yeah,
that's a terrible thing to say, actually.
I mean, you got the look down. We didn't address it yet, but you got a haircut since last week.
Oh yeah,
you do like someone who would enjoy someone getting punched and watching.
Yeah, I look like someone who you wouldn't want to meet now that I've got a shaved head in the middle of the night.
So I'm not really excited for yet another Death Note film adaptation. I also don't think that the Duffer brothers are particularly good at adapting something. They just done one very specific thing. So to me, I'm super reluctant to go into this because I think Death Note is just something that doesn't need to be adapted. But yeah, what do you think about this, Lachlan?
I think it depends how much money they're gonna have, because if season 4 is anything to go off of, I find that season 4 of Stranger Things, now that I have fully finished it, is the best season of Stranger Things they have actually put out. Now, it is completely different to what the original season 1 was, and whether that was this is their final form of Stranger Things, this is what they wanted Stranger Things to be, and obviously they didn't have the budget to do that with season 1, sure, but if they have enough money for this Death Note live action, and Willem Dafoe comes back, because I will always say that is the best casting choice out of the entire thing of that original Death Note movie. If they have enough time, enough money, and Willem Dafoe to make this film, then or series, whatever it's going to end up being, then I'm excited, because I do think they're quite talented. I think they could probably do a decent job. Yeah. And how could it be worse? That's what I'm going to say. How can it be worse?
The bar is so incredibly low.
It's so fucking low.
The bar is so incredibly low. I don't think they could fuck that up too much.
There's a very small chance that it will be worse.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's probably going to be fine. So we don't need to worry.